Hey, we're live at the USFFL. We've got Pittsburgh and Philly today, but we're going to check in first on Dallas and Carolina, where it's 21-13 Carolina, 52 seconds left in regulation. Oh, and Dallas trying to make a big comeback here. Just had a 26-yard run wiped away by a hold, which is incredible there, but it's what it is for them. Speaking of incredible, Carolina basically had the game won. And I don't know if they were in a kneel situation or not. I don't think they were. They sort of technically had to run a little bit. But Miles Sanders ended up fumbling with just over a minute left. And that gave Dallas this chance that you saw them sort of flounder a second ago on the hold call. Now they're facing a 3rd and 23 with 37 seconds left from their own 39. Looking for that plus 20 something again. Can't find it. 4th and 20. And Dallas takes their final timeout. So desperation time. A lot harder here in Strat than real life, in my opinion, getting these 20 yards. I see it happen not frequently, but with regularity, kind of, every couple of weeks you see it. It's tough to pick up a 4th and 20 in Strat because the only way is a long pass. And not double teamed here. Goes to the wrong card. And that'll be it. We will see Carolina get the win. The effect on the standings in the NFC South. Carolina moves to 5-9, Dallas down to 7-7. So some potential real implications there in Dallas's playoff hopes. As you see, they're backed up behind a lot of 8-win teams. So that probably doesn't help very much if you are the Cowboys. So now let's look over to this Steelers-Eagles game. And I rushed getting on air to bring you the ending here of Carolina-Dallas because I saw that fumble and wanted to jump on air. So I'm going to step away for a second, grab a couple things. I'm just going to get this game up on the board. There it is. We have 10-7 Philly lead here in the second quarter. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. I'm going to share this out. People know we're here. All right, let's settle in to this high-profile matchup of two 11-2 football teams. Stats I have for you this week. It's got rushed around with the holidays. They're about 1 week behind, so it shows them both with 12 wins under the belt. So keep that in mind as I might cite some stats for you and tendencies as we move along here. Nonetheless, these teams are both poised at the top of their conferences, trying to battle for what I believe in both cases is number one seeding. Let's take a look here. These standings are up to date. Philadelphia game behind the pack. I don't know how the pack fared so far this week. It's so tough with holiday weeks because it's not as compact. So spread across 2 weeks, I kind of get lost in the results as they unfold. You see Pittsburgh at the top here, 11-2. So the Bills and Chiefs standing by to see what happens in this one. Both would have a claim to the top spot with a win by their squads and a loss by Pittsburgh here. Philadelphia with the ball, 1st and 10 from their own 43. Nobody home in a flat pass zone, it looks like, to Gainwell, and he can't bring it in despite being guessed wrong. Got a feeling his receiving card is going to be a little better than that next year. But not for the Eagles, but the other side, the Steelers. 2nd and 10. The Eagles with Jalen Hurts. Come into the game 14th in rushing tendency. So middle of the pack in terms of the amount of times they run. Short pass, Dotson. Going to pick up 15. Sutton can't make the play. And, running 43% of the time, they get called run by their opponents 30% of the time. The defense calls run against them. That's actually really high, which creates a lot of guessed wrong opportunities for this Philadelphia passing attack, which, I guess people kind of want to walk into in certain spots to avoid the must run. Kind of makes sense. Philly 7th in the league with guessed wrong pass opportunities per game. There's Barkley, 8 yards, guessed right. Nicely done. 2nd and 2. Hurts a pretty strong quarterback overall, though, including his must runs. He's 11th overall in the set in expected yards per play. Not so bad. 11th in flat pass, 11th in short pass, 20th in long pass, and then that number also counts in his end runs, which we'll take a look at here, and his must runs, as we said, on this 2nd and 2. There's his end run. Looking past Goddard. There's nobody. Oh, there's one man there. 6 white die, though, breaks that down. 13 yards to the Pittsburgh 21, 1st and 10 for the Eagles, trying to extend the lead. So Hurts, as the leader of this offense, is a pretty decent weapon. Does not create a hurdle. Hurts does not for the Eagles that have to overcome at the quarterback spot. And of course, supplemented by this chunky card from Barkley. There's nobody home in this flat pass out to the right side, 6 yards, 2nd and 4 from the 15. Barkley, take a look at his rushing card here. Chunky as it is, some beautiful chunks on it. I mean, that end run wrong is pretty attractive, despite that -8 there. These zeros will let you down sometimes, for sure. It'll be interesting to see what his breakout is in terms of how how Tim uses Barkley. We'll take a look at that in just a second. 2nd and 4 here from the 15. It's an off tackle. Guessed right. Loses a yard with the linebacker in zone. Pittsburgh's off tackle defense rated 5th best defensive card in the league on the off tackle. It shows up there, 3rd and 5. Looking at Barkley. We can find him here. My eyes are starting to let me down as I cross 50. There he is, Saquon. He's been focused up the middle. 122 linebacker, 94 off tackle, 31 end run. That's your split for Barkley. 122, 94, 31. From in to out. 3rd and 5 now. Also should mention he's 26th and 24th in the league in passing targets. Short pass, Johnny Wilson. He's double teamed by Highsmith. On this 3rd and 5, it's going to fall incomplete. The double team does what it's supposed to do, although a must run would not have been there anyway. It's 4th and 5, and Pittsburgh's going to maintain the 1-score deficit as opposed to breaking out into 2 scores. Kick is good. 13-7. Touchback. Pittsburgh's offense onto the field. They've been playing 2 quarterbacks. It's been Wilson and Fields so far this year. A little bit more Wilson than Fields, by quite a distance. 88 attempts is last we had for Fields. 145 for Wilson. So a little less than double. This team runs 45% of the time, which is 3rd highest in the league. So a 2-yard run there. 2nd and 8. So really relying on the running of Najee Harris more than anything else. And Najee Harris is an All-Pro. One of 3 on the All-Pro report for the Steelers. Harris, Boswell, and Highsmith. We saw on the double team last time around. All 3 All-Pro report recipients. That's for the entire league only, not just the conference. End run Warren, which makes it even more difficult. 15 yards. So interesting to see Warren here. Talking about Pittsburgh injuries, as far as we knew, they were pretty healthy. Yeah, still are. Just Gardner Johnson went out in this game for Philadelphia. Otherwise, both teams came in healthy. 1st and 10 up now near midfield after the 15-yard run by Warren. Philadelphia rush defense also strong. Only real weak spot on a relative basis is the deep ball, where they're 17th best card in the league. And run Harris gets 5 plus 15 on top of it. Steelers are on the move now. Up to the Philly 33. 3 minutes left in the half. Down 13-7, trying to take a late lead here. Najee Harris in the backfield with Freiermuth in Washington. And Najee just picks up 2 yards, guessed wrong. You saw that end run by Harris. He's 6th in the league with 74 end run attempts. His breakout is 40, 80, and 74. 40, 80, and 74 from linebacker to end run. So pretty balanced usage for Najee. Kellen Moore will be taking over for Pittsburgh primarily next year. A little help from a couple other guys, but mostly including Gainwell. Mostly Kellen Moore. As Najee Harris has had a subpar year out with the Chargers. Off tackle, Harris loses 2. 3rd and 10. The feature of Harris is his minimum fumbles, which you see show up there. Other guys kind of fumble a little bit. Jalen Warren at 1.7%, Patterson at 3.1. 3rd and 10 now. This team goes small ball a lot more than the rest of the league in this spot on 3rd and 10. Let's see if they stayed. You can see in the 2-tight formation that would suggest as much. That's where they tend to go. Small ball meaning running or flat passing. From the 33, not a bad spot to do that. Philly shows blitz because a team with not a very good offensive line. So I would expect small ball here. They want to fall out of field goal range. Which is kind of weird in 3rd and 10 to expect small ball, but that's what I expect. And there it is. No gain. Nicely done by the defense. Coming up with the line as well. The end run to Harris. 4th and 10. And I love that in a conversation on the Strat forum saying, oh, yeah, tendencies don't matter. Nobody's going to pay attention to tendencies. All that matters are the cards that are in front of you. The fact that we have 1,000 plays of data that show that Pittsburgh likes to go small ball there. Ignore it. Ignore it. Field goal's good. 13-10. Look, at the end of the day, it's a balance. It's a balance. It really is. You gotta feel things out. Every situation as it stands on its own. But then again, you kind of want to look at the tendencies to see if somebody sort of leans one way or the other. That small percentage point difference, and it might not be so small. You might say it's not a big deal. Ask Vegas if a small percentage point edge is a big deal or not. Play enough, you're going to win more games. Potentially a lot more games if you pay attention to the data. Just a little bit. Not all the way, just a little bit. 152 left, 13-10. End run, Barkley. Trying to hit that home run here. Strap ball on it. Ooh, goes to the wrong card. Let's see. 3 seems like an attractive number if it were on Barkley's card. Was it? No. It was perhaps the most disappointing of all. Wait, that's guessed right. Hold on. Ah, yeah. On game. Yeah, there it is. So that 3 would have been helpful over on Barkley's card. Let's take a look at his receiving while we're here. And you see it's quite good. As far as receivers go, Barkley's, as far among halfbacks, is not a top flat pass card, but 5th best short pass. And I think that's his 8th best long pass among halfbacks. So stands up pretty well. I'd like to know who the 7 are in front of him, but hey, I believe it. 2nd and 9. The almost long gain for Barkley. Now it's a short pass. Guessed wrong. Gets that run call. As they do. Opportunity falls incomplete. 3rd and 9. You see that run pass dynamic coming into play already here for Philly, which explains a lot of their success as a team. 2nd in the league in points for with 30.1 per game. 5th in the league in defense in terms of scoring, 19.8 per game, which leads to the 2nd highest points margin. Pittsburgh is 5th in points margin. Now 3rd and 9. Boswell has a leg here, so you want to get some yards and roll the clock no matter what happens. There's a 6 in the zone on this look-in pass. It's incomplete. Holding against Philadelphia. I'd expect a decline here by Pittsburgh. And they'll get the ball back with Boswell a chance to do some damage. Here comes Pittsburgh. Punt returners do have a touchdown. So keeping that in mind as well. I don't know if you have a good coverage unit, but there is a touchdown here. At least on one of the Pittsburgh guys. I'm not sure which one. That one just gets 2 yards on that good coverage. So from the 33, Boswell is good out to the 40, which is about average for this set. Actually, it's precisely the average for this set. However, his 31 out of 36 from that range is well above average. So he connects on 31 out of 36 chances. The league average is 24 from long range. So really strong leg and also accurate leg from deep, from an average depth there. You have to reach the 40. So target is about 27 yards away. Flat pass, Najee Harris, and there's 15 of those yards. Philadelphia, some costly penalties here. And this is a team that has run into penalties against trouble frequently with they've run into some problems. And overall, they're sort of middle of the pack when it's all said and done in terms of margin, but there is an abundance of penalties being called against them so far. 1st and 10 now from the 48 with 52 seconds left. So they got a lot of those yards that they need. There's 5 more. Just need 7 more to get into the fringe of the range for Boswell. And try to tie this up at the half. Second and 5. It's Wilson with Harris. 3-3-5 blitz, going to key Najee. Possible penalty. No gain, no penalty. 3rd and 5. So big stop there. Philadelphia keying. An unsuccessful key, but still good enough to hold him to no gain. Unsuccessful in terms of actually getting the key. Now a key 3rd and 5. Russell Wilson, one of the better long passers in the game. 5th in the set in expected yards on the deep ball. Everything else pretty mediocre. In terms of passing, line Buck Harris. He's 5. Gets no gain. Misses that short gain. And Philly will hold. On this 4th and 5, I'd expect a punt. Can't afford to give it back. I think anyway. Let's take a look at the kicker for Philadelphia. He's pretty bad. Only 6 out of 36 from deep. There's a case to be made here to go for it. Yeah, they're going to go for it with 8 seconds left. Because Philly did not call the timeout. Interestingly. That's probably what drove where we are right now. If Philly calls a timeout, they still might not be getting the ball back via punt because of the weakness of their kicker. So a couple things sort of at play here. Cross currents. When it all shakes out, we got a 4th and 5 with 8 seconds left. Looking past Freiermuth. Incomplete. Hit with 0 men in the zone to the receiver. Guessed right, and it falls incomplete. And the chance for a field goal for Pittsburgh is vanquished. And what has just a 0 men card full of opportunities to get Boswell in range with a timeout to spare. Oh well, Philadelphia now taking over. Looks like they're going to have the lead going to the half. 1 tick left on the clock from 53 yards out. Here's Philadelphia. Not sure if they have the receivers to get this done. A.J. Brown has the asterisk. Dotson, I can't read very well today. Dotson does not. Devontae Smith cannot get it done. Goddard looks like he can get it done. A couple of the tight ends can get it done. Even Barkley can't get it done, along with 43 without the asterisk. Looks like E.J. Jenkins can. Looks like E.J. Jenkins has an asterisk. Is that what I'm seeing here? Interesting. So it looks like the tight ends have a decent shot. Goes end run to Barkley for his deep ball ability. He stopped, and that'll end the half. Barkley, I meant on the pass, not on the run. And let's check that if we can. Receiving for Barkley, 43. Yeah, just 43 with no asterisk. So my sources were correct there. But you see on the run, he's got the dot and along a 72. So very interesting. It's like he should get an honorary dot receiving, just give it to him. To think that he's not a threat in those sorts of situations is kind of silly. Threat catching the ball. Well, we're at the break, and we're going to have a short break here, according to the gents playing the game. We take a spin around the league. And let's take a spin around the box score first here. Philadelphia with a pretty sizable edge in yards, 6.1 on the average as well, over a yard advantage, time possession advantage, but just a 13-10 lead. No fumbles, no interceptions. Do we have missed field goals that we may have missed? Philly, you'd think, would be off to a bit of a better lead than they are. Nope, 2 for 2, 1 for 1. I guess our difference here is a red zone percentage, if I had to guess. Yeah. So Pittsburgh able to punch it in on their one opportunity. Well, Philly's been getting yards, but settling for field goals. I think the best way to look at where we are league-wise is, again, it's difficult because games have been played, and I like Tim's weekly update here. We'll take a look at both conferences. So there are the Steelers, like we talked about, 11-2 at the top, and you see the Bills and Chiefs waiting. Colts leading the AFC South with a 5-8 record. So big game versus the Broncos coming up. I think it's later today, if I'm not mistaken. With, you see the Texans and the Titans right there. Jaguars not too far behind either in that AFC South. So a lot of eyes on that game tonight. The Broncos at 9-4 in great playoff position. Just a game behind the Chiefs. But it's kind of late in the year to be a game behind. But nonetheless, Broncos will want that division title if they can get it. Patriots at 7-6, Chargers 7-6. As far as I know, the Patriots did not win this week. Is that correct? I know the Chargers did. Again, Broncos and Colts later. I don't think the Chiefs have played. I don't think the Bills have played. And you have the Steelers going on right now. Not sure about who's played and who's not. I'm just sort of guessing. There's the Packers are up at the top, 12-1. Eagles right behind at 11-2. Saints also 11-2. Vikings 10-3 in the hunt for that top spot, but ways back. Bears and Lions round out the wild cards, and you see the 49ers and Bucks right behind. Bucks lost this week to the Chargers. Cowboys just lost to the Panthers, so that solidifies the race a bit among Bears, Lions, and 49ers for that last wild card. Let's see if we have kickoff here. We don't. That'll give us a chance to look at scores around the league. Las Vegas beat Atlanta 29-17. You see Jess typing up the Carolina victory as we speak. And you see the Chargers beat the Bucks 30-23. Then you have New England's loss to Arizona 34-31. What else this week? Here's a big one. Chicago, Minnesota, 27-18. And then Green Bay beat Detroit. Was that the last game of last week or the first game of this week? I'm not sure. I guess I could find out if I really wanted to. That was the last game of last week. Okay. So the new news is Chicago beating Minnesota, I believe. That is new news. Let's take a look here. Yeah. Okay, so Minnesota takes that loss, puts them out of top seed contention, really, and really solidifies the Bears into a wild card situation. put some pressure on the Lions, who are facing Buffalo at some point this week. So that's an interesting breakdown. We have kickoff here. Philadelphia with the lead and the ball. Blocking back formation. Pittsburgh, not a big caller of run, but you're going to do it more against these Eagle teams. 26th in the league. Off tackle, Barkley. Guessed wrong. Nobody home. Opportunity for Barkley to get a biggie. Also an opportunity to get no gain. In this case, loss of 3. Guessed wrong. Ouch. 2nd and 13. Oof. That hurts if you are Philly. As the coach of the Chargers, I really have no rooting interest in this game. So, just wanted a good one. Neither really benefits me or affects the Chargers. Another off tackle. Barkley gets plus 65. Boom, that 3 shows up that didn't show up at the end of the half. And just like that, it's 11 carries, 94 yards for Barkley. Look out. Wow. Would have been no gain, guessed right. Going 3 wide. Philadelphia in the red zone. Overall rank of 7th on offense. Pittsburgh 3rd on defense. So pretty good matchup here. So far won by the Steelers. They can, and so far it's been the way this game has gone. Looking at the box score, you see a lot of yards for the Eagles, but just a small lead because of a 40-some% red zone success percentage for Philly. As far as touchdown percentage, however, so being 7th league overall, not so bad. 15th in touchdowns, and they get one there for Goddard. So big conversion of a red zone opportunity. Philly finally gets the space that they probably deserve here in this game with a 2-score lead early in the 3rd quarter. It's going to be 20-10 if this extra point is good, but yeah, it'll be good. So yeah, 20-10 Philly. Saquon Barkley, quick drive. Gives the Eagles some cushion. Philly gets called for a face mask, which is going to put Pittsburgh in Philadelphia territory right from the get-go. So Pittsburgh a chance to climb right back in it here in short order. It's Wilson and Harris. Off tackle, Najee gets just 6 yards guessed wrong, and it would have been a plus 1,000 on Barkley's card. Get plus 6 for Harris. 2nd and 4. Just misses the plus 26. Too tight. You see Washington in there, that 5 blocker on the right-hand side for all these end runs that Najee gets. Short pass, 3 men in zone, 11 yards, 1st down to the 23. Yeah, keyed Najee Harris gets the guess wrong. Flat pass for 9. 2nd and 1 to the 14. Here come the Steelers. Steelers offense, 13th in red zone performance. Philly defense has struggled, 23rd. give up a TD 69% of the time. Is that correct? Wow. 25th in the league. Linebuck, Wilson, first down. Boy, that feels like a big number. Pittsburgh apparently doesn't go for it on fourth very often because they're come up empty just 4% of the time on their red zone appearances. That's good enough. Fourth in the league. 2nd and 10 on that missed opportunity there for Russell Wilson. Flat pass still in play. Blitzing 3-4. Flat pass. Guessed wrong. 11 yards. To the 1 is Najee Harris. Najee Harris. Third. Is that right? Yeah, it seems to be third in the league in flat pass targets at 98. Gets a key one there. First and goal from the 1. We have a touchdown. Does it hold up? Offsetting penalties. Wilson in the 4 wide. Spread them out here. You lose some blocking here. And, of course, you have the 1 white die. Guessed wrong. Incomplete. Wilson. There's that must run that could have been. But the advantage of guessing wrong in that case is the whiff on the must run. Take a look at Wilson's running abilities. Not bad at all. That's 7 on 7. Like to see that. Second goal goes down to 3 wide as opposed to 4. Incomplete. Third and goal at the 1. Full house now. It's Harris and Warren with Washington. It's a short pass. Finally, touchdown. 2016 is the score. Boswell on for the extra point. He has not missed so far this year. And that stays true on that 2 through 12, which you can miss on the 2 through 12. But he has not. 2017. An immediate penalty against Philly. Philly, a couple kickoff penalties here really had an impact on field position. They'll be pushed back to their own 15-yard line. Goes 3 wide. Interesting formation choice. I mean, I don't know. I don't coach the team day in, day out, but I wouldn't want that 1 white die killing those long gains. Looking past Goddard. You do this if you have to. I wouldn't. If you read the write-up for the Chargers game versus Tampa, but Tampa went 3 wide most of the game, and on the 1 white die, lost over 100 yards on 3 occasions. Just 3 occasions. Lost a plus 50, lost a plus 40, lost a plus 30. All because of the 1 white die in a 3 wide set. Flat pass, Saquon. So that's the point. I mean, it's even more likely that happens to a Barkley. He's just the sort of runner where his long gains on guessed wrong are a lot of what he is. A false start there, 2nd and 9. Stays 3 wide. Off tackle, Barkley looking for that 2 or 3 in the white die. Can he get it? Ken for 21. So the one white die would have been still 8 yards, not bad, but 21 is beautiful. And 1st and 10 up to the 37. Barkley, 12 carries, 115 yards. More like a good receiving line with his 9.6 average. Now back to the blocking back. In this consequential game for top seeding in both conferences. Flat pass, A.J. Brown. It's up against a 4 out there. He's not double teamed. Personal foul against Pittsburgh off the incompletion. 15 yards. And that puts Philly in Pittsburgh territory. Halfway through third quarter. It's 2017. Philly leading. 3 wide for Philly. Against the 3-3-5. Looking past Saquon. One man there. He's a 4. Oh, almost intercepted. Philly just 8 giveaways coming into last week. Second in the league. Fewest giveaways. The hair of his chinny chin chin avoids a key one there. Back to a look into Saquon. This time gets 4 yards. 3rd and 6. From the 44. So the team that likes to go forward on 4th down. Average 1.8 4th down conversion attempts per game, 2nd in the league, and that says a lot. I mean, to me, it's effectively the 1st in the league because when you're 10-2, 11-2, and you're going for it that much, you're not doing it because you're losing. You're doing it out of choice. Looking pass to a double teamed Kakatera. Gets it for 5 yards. 4th and 1. Here we go. Let's test this 4th down, go for it theory that analytics tells us that Philadelphia will do. What do they like to do in this situation? Interesting you ask. Let's see here. Do they like the line buck to Hurts? Interestingly, not really. They go flat an outsized amount, 43% of the time on 4th and 1, and they run less than usual. And there's a run. No gain! Philly gets stopped on the run. Nobody in zone, yet no gain. Hits the wrong roll at the wrong time. Yeah, it's interesting. They don't really take advantage of Hurts' card. He might see a lot of keys. I don't know. Does he see a lot of? Yeah, he does see. He sees 5.2 keys per game. Incomplete on 1st down, 2nd and 10. Does the Philly offense? They get keys called against them 5.2 times per game, which is the 2nd highest in the league. So he must get that a lot. That probably, seeing so many keys, might shy him away from going line buck to Hurts on 4th and 1. It's still the 24th most call play on 4th and 1 league-wide. But if you look at the 4th and 1, just the running percentage, I'm having trouble seeing today. They run, it looks like 36% of the time versus a league average of 48% of the time. Another incompletion. This time, Najee misses on a flat pass, gets wrong, 3rd and 10. So Philadelphia have been converting 62% of 4th downs, which is 10th in the league. So not quite performing as well, and they're passing more, and that might account for it. But, King is pretty powerful, even against Hurts's trumped-up card. We'll take a look at Hurts's linebucker keyed when they get the ball back here. How soon that will be, we don't know. It depends on this 3rd and 10. Washington, the big tight end in the backfield with Wilson. From their own 39, down 3 points. Philly showing blitz, which they don't do all that often. There's a holding call against Philadelphia. That's going to be an automatic 1st down off the incompletion. We play on. First and 10. Short pass, Pickens, 11 yards. Nearing field goal range are the Steelers. 4:30 left, third quarter. Haven't seen a long pass from Wilson yet today. They like to go deep. If they're not going to go small ball, they go deep just about as much as anybody else does in the league when they don't go small ball. Short pass, Freiermuth. So don't do it there and they get 10 yards. Yeah, we've seen a lot of short passing. So altering the strategy a bit here today. Typically, you're going to see one long pass for every 2.4 short passes for Pittsburgh, which again is a pretty low ratio, that 2.4. Usually there's more short passes mixed in for most teams versus long. Pittsburgh, with Russell Wilson's strength being as it is, tends to go a little deeper. But we saw a short pass there. And now facing a blitz again on this too tight. Patterson is in the backfield. He does have a bit of a fumbling issue at 3.1%. It's a reason to guess run if you're Philly. Doesn't mean you do it automatically, but it's a reason to do it. And they sure went after that fumble this time. Didn't get it. Flat pass, 13 yards, down to the Philadelphia 22, first and 10 for Pittsburgh. 3:18 left in the third. Stays too tight. Flat pass, Najee. He's beautifully double teamed. Incomplete. Almost gets the pick. Second and 10. Now shifts to blocking back. So loses that 5 at the end. Shifts coverages a bit. It's an end run. Loss of 7. So on the precipice of the red zone were the Steelers. Now backed up to the 29. This was not a red zone trip. They were 2 yards away from it. You now face a 3rd and 17. Looking for a bailout penalty, perhaps. Linebuck, Harris, X-Die. No penalty on the offensive penalty card. So Boswell is going to try to tie it. And Boswell's kick from 45 is good. Boswell came into the game 3rd in the league, 94% field goal percentage. Also 3rd in the league in attempts at 33. Pittsburgh offside. Philly can take it at the 35, and that's probably what they should do, and they do. We are tied at 20. Let's see what formation Philly gives us here. Kind of an interesting question. Blocking back. I support that decision versus a 3-4. Devontae Smith has a 0 on him. Short pass to AJ. He's double teaming Devontae. It's a pass rush. Cameron Hayward gets in on Malata. A 32% chance. Hits with 25 right there. And it's 2nd and 18. Goes 3 wide. Oh, I would not go 3 wide here. That's just me. I'll tell you what I think often. I mean, I'm right. Off tackle Barkley. Man is there. Guess wrong. Looking for that 2 or 3 on the white die. Can he get it? No. Loss of 1. 3rd and 19. Philly in these third and very long situations, not particularly successful. 25th in the league, converts 7% of the time. A tough spot. Although they've had some trouble on Pittsburgh side stopping it. Let's see what wins out here. Going to get 24, first down. Yeah, Pittsburgh on the Jalen Hurts run did not use TJ Watt there to attempt to his 6 to attempt to contain. Pittsburgh came into that with a conversion percentage all the way up at 16% on third and very long, which is 24th in league. And they get stymied there by Jalen Hurts. So 1st and 10 at midfield and a huge conversion by Hurts as we start the fourth quarter. Guess right for Gainwell. Going off tackle. Men in zone as well. Tough spot here for Philly. They lose 2. 2nd and 12. Good call by the D. Barkley back in and 3 wide set. Versus a 3-4. So he cannot double team Barkley. Okay, can't do it. He's up against a 6 though. But you could go to Barkley all you want. Flat pass Goddard though. And Goddard can't bring it in. Had the opportunity with the 6 white die. Goes to the relatively reliable card of Goddard. Flat pass right. He's got the 9th best flat pass right card among tight ends, but he can't bring it in. 3rd and 12. Really not a bad card there at all. Toward the top of the league. Now 3rd and very long again. TJ Watt coming, looking past to Brown, needs 12, gets 4. 4th and 8, now the position to really go for it. We should see a punt here. From man. We do. Coffin corner style. It goes 52 yards. And that's just enough. A little more than enough to get a touchback. Philly leads the league in time of possession. They had it through most of the first half, and more balance here in the second. We have a little bit of a delay here. Not sure what that is. I can't type. So no matter what, I'm going to get out of it. See if we get a new one. If we don't get a new one, I'll go back to the old one. See Jess still typing over there. Let's see what we have. Looks like we got a problem. Give these guys a minute. While we do, notice of a few other interesting tidbits on this team. Pittsburgh comes into the game 29th in luck percentage, despite the 11-2 record. They've recovered just 40% of all the fumbles that have hit the ground. So when they hit the ground, Pittsburgh's 31st in the league in picking it up. So that's pretty interesting and a testament to Coach Peter Sibley's ability to overcome the fact they're not picking up the ball when it's fumbled. That's a pretty big deal. And there we have our new number. And that's just luck when it hits the ground. Looks like we're punting again. Guys, come on now. We can do better than this, Strat World. We can do a lot better. It goes 45 yards. He gets it at the 3. Should be a touchback. That's where it was. Not a fan of that. Look, if it was my game, I'd go fix it. Maybe I'm nosing into business that's not mine. But, boy, if I had a rooting interest in this game, I would be upset about that. And, it's not that, please don't think that sort of implying intent or motive. None of that's there, okay? I just assume people are doing the best they can, but we can do better than that. We really can. And the only gap on that's probably just knowledge is, hey, I didn't know. How do I do it? Well, how do you do it? Whoever saw the last play, when you guys are typing to each other, type, hey, saw the punt. Do you see anything further than that? Nope. Okay, so you verify, okay, how far did the game get? You verify that. Then when you go to restart the game, you look at your save file, who's ever hosting, and if the save file doesn't reflect what the person saw, whoever saw then you don't just accept that. There's 2 save files on both sides. And on top of that, we should always be manually saving. Okay, whenever there's an interruption, manually save. That'll really capture as best as possible the last play. And then you just look through the save files on both sides. Maybe the other guy has to host. It's not a big deal. It doesn't take a lot of time. Of who had the right save file that reflected the last play. In this case, it reflects 17 yards of field position backed up against a possible safety. Pretty big deal. Not small potatoes. So just go through that process. Again, not a very taxing one, not a heavy lift. And do the best you can, which can make a really big difference. 1st and 10, after the 5-yard run for Pittsburgh out to the 13. I don't know. Maybe that sounds nitpicky. And the prevailing thought is whatever, it's just a game. I'm with you. It is just a game. But at the same time, 1st and 10. Looking pass, Washington. A 4 is there, 5 yards. 2nd and 5 from the 18. Tie game, 2020, 11-24 left in the 4th. Guessed wrong, 14 yards. So Pittsburgh, over these 5 plays, gets back out beyond the touchback area where they would have been. Boy, they would be in Philadelphia territory now. They've been a touchback. Set 1st and 10 out to the 32. 2 tight versus a 3-3-5. Philadelphia also does not call run very much. Both these teams winning a lot. That's why you see that. Here in a tight game, you see another run call, this time a correct key, loss of 1. Does Philly key a lot? On defense, they get keyed a lot. Oh, they key 3.1 times per game. Good for 12th in the league. Successful 19% of the time, which is 18th in the league. Successful there, 2nd and 11. Jalen Warren in the game. Long pass, Pickens. Oh, just misses. See Russ's 9 long gain, and then he's got his must runs. That's a pretty nice, clean card. Pretty nice indeed. Comes up empty, 3rd and 11. Blitzing is Philadelphia. Short pass, Pickens. Blitzer coming, I think. Flushed. Blitzer was not coming. 12 yards on Austin's card. Wow. Finds the right roll at the right time. First down, Pittsburgh. Out to the 43-yard line as we tick down under 10 minutes, about halfway through the 9-minute mark. And it's a 1st and 10. Pittsburgh, a 40-60 run team on 40% run on 1st and 10. 60% pass. That's just a tick above average in the league for running. And we see a run for Harris, and he gets 15. Into Philadelphia territory goes Najee Harris. He's now up to 58 yards, bringing that average above 4 on that nice gallop to the 42-yard line. Too tight. Flat pass, double team to Sprayermuth, incomplete. Just avoiding an injury roll as well on a 2-1-1 roll. Philly kind of middle of the pack in terms of calling double teams on defense. 19 a game, good for 15th in the league. Pittsburgh doesn't see a lot of them. Just 13. Short pass. Washington is picked off on a 2. Oh, it's an interception. 2 split, and he gets it. Isaiah Rodgers is your interceptor. He's going to try to run it back, presumably. And gets nothing. Wow. Guessed wrong. 2 shows up. Ouch. Russ has been so good on the takeaways. As a team, Philadelphia 3rd in the league in terms of interceptions per game. Just 0.5 interceptions per game. But a huge, unlikely one there. Saquon, guessed wrong. Boy, I feel like a card should be a lot more dangerous than that. Gets just 10 yards, but that's something. 1st and 10 up to the 39. Wow. 7:48 left, 4th quarter. Blocking back formation. It's a flat pass. Guessed wrong. One man is there. A.J. Brown loses 4. Joey Porter going to miss 2 more games, so he's out for the rest of the regular season, is Joey Porter Jr. As we'll take a look at him here. He is right there. He's a 5 corner. And now Pittsburgh without much in the corner department. Now Minkah Fitzpatrick's out. Dropping like flies on the Pittsburgh defense. Losing 4 yards each time it happens. So it's 3rd and 18. So I'm not sure how they, very interesting to see. You know, the win probability doesn't really accurate in Strat, but if you were an actual model, how would you balance out a loss of 4 versus losing 2 key defenders in 2 plays? 3rd and 18 now with 6:36 left. Pittsburgh should have a shot at winning this game, right? And to even maybe, it's a lot of time, but still it's a chance to walk it off because of these losses of 4. But they also lost the guys on D. Off tackle Barkley on this 3rd and 18. Loses 2. 4th and 20. Pittsburgh's defense holds and then some. And here's man. Punt to the 14, Calvin Austin. Goes 13 yards. 1st and 10. at the 27. 5:42 left here in regulation. Tied at 20. Washington playing right end. Long pass Pickens. Nobody's back there. He gets stopped by the 5. 2-5 corners. Doing their job. That time, it was Darius Slay. Second and 10. Blitzing on 3-4 is Philly. See a lot of blitzing. Not a team that racks up sack contests. End run, guess right. Can the tackle make the block? He cannot. So Pittsburgh so far not taking advantage of the opportunity. They can erase those 2 tough plays with the third down conversion right here on 3rd and 10. Convert 32% in the regular season so far. From this distance, good for 12th in the league. Philadelphia just allows 28%, which is 8th best from a defensive perspective. Let's see who wins out. It's a long pass to Van Jefferson. He's faced up against the 5. Nobody's back there again. Flushed. Possible penalty. Gets 8 yards. That's not going to be enough. How about a penalty? No flag. 4th and 2. Pittsburgh will likely be punting. I'd be shocked if they don't. Okay. Pittsburgh doesn't go for it on 4th all too often. 16th in the league in 4th down attempts. Makes sense given the record. Cooper DeJean. He's got some. I thought he's got some good ones on this. He actually doesn't. Plus 31 is his long. Fair catch. And Philly takes over at the 20. .354 left in regulation. Short pass, Goddard. Blitzer's coming. Can they get home? We wait the roll. What will happen on this roll? It's going to be a flush. 32% miss by Hayward. 5-yard gain. Came up 38. Just missed Cam Hayward. 2nd and 5. Shipley checks in. Shipley has gone 2-8-0 linebacker off tackle and run, so tends to be an off tackle guy. On the 2nd and 5. In terms of targets, he has 8 targets on the year. 6 short pass, 2 in the flat. Goddard's double teamed on a short pass. Philly looking for a pick. And just miss it. Pass interference against Pittsburgh. 12 yards. First down, Philly. So if they would have gotten the pick, it wouldn't have mattered. You see, just missed on the 12 roll. Now with 3 minutes left, Philly up to 37. Both teams with all their timeouts. Flat pass to Monte. Nobody home. It's a wide open opportunity for Philly. Can they take advantage? Yes, short gain, 16 yards into Pittsburgh territory. So we're down to 2:24 left. Talked about the problems with Philly's kicking. Certainly deep it's an issue. How about the other ranges? from 23 to 32. Good. They're 33 to 36 from that range, which is much better than average. So Philly's at 33. The league's at 28. But you just got to get up to that 27-yard line to feel safe about that. So target 27. That's 20 yards from here for Philly, with 2:24 left here in the fourth. On this first down, short pass. Dotson, looking for a must-run, perhaps. Doesn't get it. Offside against Pittsburgh, though. 1st and 5 from the 42. See, 4 men in zone there. 3 men in zone would have been plus 12. Talked about Pittsburgh's lack of throwing short passes versus long. Well, Philly's on the other side. Philly's 7th highest in the league. 5 short passes for every long pass. 3 wide versus 3-4. So Barkley available without any threat of double teaming. And everybody's available in the flats without a double team. It's an end run to Hurts. Short yardage call on this 1st and 5. He's going to lose 7. Big play for the Pittsburgh D at just the right time. Boy, a high leverage play there in what seemed to be a conservative zone for Philly on a 1st and 5 with command of the clock. Now we have the 2-minute warning, 2nd and 12 from the 49. Guessed wrong would have been just plus 4. Yeah, I mean, there's just... Boy, Strat, I just don't like the way Strat tells you not to call that play. That's basically what they're telling you to do. You know, unless it's 3rd and very long and you don't care about a loss. Looking pass to Barkley. Nobody's home. Opportunity here. Gets 8 of it back. 3rd and 4. With the kicker disadvantage, you wonder if this is 2-down territory. Will it matter? We'll find out in a second on this 3rd and 4. Where Philly's 50-50 in conversion, 12th in the league. Pittsburgh guesses right 71% of the time in this spot, which is up toward the top of the league. 4th best in the league guessing right here on defense. And the league tends to pass here. Flat pass, Goddard, which tells you should have run. Flat pass, Goddard. Incomplete. 2 men in zone. 4th and 4. Yeah, suggestion there is to run. When you see, boy, 4th in the league, guessing right in a pass spot. There was a lane there. Now it's 4th and 4. Difficult to dig those stats out, though, when you're playing in a game. It is really interesting. There's a lot of spots against Pittsburgh short yards where you want to run. Not everyone, but most of them. 4th and 4. They decide to go for it. Facing Boswell on the other side. Short pass Devontae. 4 men in zone. Guess right. Big play here. 12 yards, 1st down. You saw that Watt stayed back. I was expecting a 4th down. I expected TJ's over here, expected him to be shadowing. I mean, it's just effective 50% of the time. On a 4th down, it's particularly helpful. 1st and 10 up to the 29, and now Philly's in command. That was the high leverage play of the game. Could have gone either way. You get the conversion, Philly in the driver's seat. If it would have fallen incomplete, Pittsburgh would have been firmly in the driver's seat. Now just 2 yards away from that 27-yard mark, which would get the Eagles out of variable field goal risk. Goes flat, guessed right to Devontae. Going to get even more in a roughing. 5 plus 15 is going to put Philadelphia down to the 12-yard line. And now the clock will stop on that penalty. So you're going to get, you still can get 1 first down. Okay. But otherwise, Pittsburgh will get a shot here. Not much time, but they'll get a shot. One way or the other. Unless, the only way that doesn't happen is if Philadelphia lands on the 1-yard line. So if you're Pittsburgh here, you're probably looking for highest leverage as possible. line book hurts. They don't key. Like, you don't mind a touchdown here. Like right there on that play. Touchdown would not be so bad if you're Pittsburgh. 2nd and 8 from the 10, which was if you would have keyed, wouldn't have brought a touchdown, though. Would have been brought 6 yards, but would have been closer. 2nd and 8. Pittsburgh used that first timeout. Guess is wrong. Okay, that's cool. Looking for 10 yards if you're Pittsburgh. Can't get it. Loss of 1. Back to the 11. Use that timeout. It's going to be 3rd and long. Josh Elliott connects on 35 of 36 from this range, better than average in the league. Drops to 33 out of 36 after the 12-yard line. Linebuck Gainwell, but obviously not a very big drop. Gains 2. So here we go, 35 out of 36. Chippy for Josh Elliott. As chippy as field goals get in Strat. Can he hit it? Is the question. It is good, and Philly takes the lead 23-20. 15 seconds left on the clock. Looking for a touchback probably if you're Pittsburgh here. Hoping. They get it. So we've got to rely on Russell Wilson's guessed right long gain. Pittsburgh's deep guys. Let's take a quick look here. We got a bunch of asterisks. Calvin Austin gives you an asterisk. Mike Williams gives you an asterisk. It's a flat pass to Najee. Offsides. Clock will tick to 8 seconds. Need good 30 yards at least. But those are the only 2 asterisks. Austin and Williams. 2 tight versus a 3-2-6. Stays under center, which opens up the possibility of a end around. No timeouts for Pittsburgh. So a long pass will not stop the clock. So that's an issue. Can't go deep. Looking past that's a short touchdown. Van Jefferson, that's going to do it unless there's a penalty. That's it. Philly will walk away with the win. 23-20. Here we go. So let's take a look at not up-to-date standings, just slightly up-to-date standings in the AFC as a result of that loss. 3 losses puts Pittsburgh with Buffalo and KC as we have a mad scramble for the number 1 seed. Over in the NFC, Eagles closer to Green Bay. Not sure if they faced each other in the regular season. I guess it's worth taking a quick look at that. Did we have a Philly-Green Bay game? We did. Philly won it. So they're just trying to hunt one more loss for the Packers, and they'll get the number 1 seed. Packers, tough road test in Seattle this week, then face a very well-coached New Orleans squad. Then Minnesota and Chicago. So tough schedule for Green Bay going forward. I mean, that might be one of the toughest schedules in the league. I don't have it in front of me. But that's a tough schedule remaining for Green Bay. So Philly a legit shot at the number 1 seed. Thanks for watching, everybody. We hope to see you more. We'll see you a lot more as the playoffs begin. Hopefully we'll see you before that as well. Have a good day.